how do you prioritize your mental health now? As you know, especially with being in college and dealing with all the stress from schoolwork, your social life, making like with your family, all that.
I
Sure.
disconnect from whatever is like getting me stressed out. And if I don't have like motivation or like inspiration to do my hair or my nails, I just go to sleep.
That's the
Oh,
best way to
sleep,
solve it. Is
sleep, sleep.
best
I
That's
way.
shut
real.
my mind off. I let everything go and I knock out. That's it.
It's like that's not a conversation to have with people, which is why a lot of people don't like religion anyways, because people use it as an excuse for a lot of their thinking. And it's just like you shouldn't use that. I think you should be able to try to relate with people and communicate with people so they actually feel like you're a safe place for them, which is why I feel like a lot of parents, like in our generation, I don't know where they became, like they came with that mentality that's like mental health isn't important or like depression is a phase. Like,
Love it.
Sometimes saying it's gonna be okay doesn't make things better.
Beautiful. Next.
that's
Bars.
Hey
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 guys.
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 Future us here. Welcome back. If you're new here or you just don't know, I'm Rachel.
I'm Laura.
I'm Shayla.
I'm Dee.
And this is Hypothetically Unhinged. So today we're going to be talking about a topic that's a bit more serious, but we just felt that it's something that needed to be discussed. As you know, we're in the month of March, and this is the month, and this month is also known as Women's History Month, but it also is mental health related. So we thought with this being such an important and impactful month, we'd share some of our experiences and advice on being a woman and managing our mental health, which is what today's episode is basically about. But of course, it has a little unhinged twist to it. So stay tuned for that. Quick note, mental health is very important. And it's something sometimes hard to tell if someone's battling with it. So if you have a feeling there's something going on with a loved one or you yourself are going through something, don't be afraid to reach out. We'll put some resources in the link in the bio. But yeah, with all that being said, we hope you enjoy this episode.
So, we're gonna start this off with just like a very basic overall definition of mental health. So, with that being said, I wanted to ask you guys, how would you define mental health and what does it mean to you? And if you want, I'll start. I think mental health to me is, well, it's like it's your social, emotional well-being. And personally, I think it's way more important than your physical health because if you're not right mentally, you're not going to be able to be right physically because you won't have the motivation to get anything done. And I feel like this being the month of mental health and us being able to sit here and have the privilege to talk about it is really important. So, Shayla, if you would like to continue us off.
So, for me personally, I feel me personally, I feel like mental health is a big part of your state of mind. Like it's very in tune with your emotions, and obviously that's gonna shape who you are as a person. So if you're not in a great state of mind, that's to me a direct issue with your mental health. So if you're feeling depressed or if you're having anxiety of any sort, um OCD, ADHD, all of those categories, I feel like exactly. I feel like that deals a lot with who you are who you are as a person, and obviously you can get better with help, but I feel like if you're not in a great place, it's gonna be 10 times harder to get out of that than if you are like happy in whatever situation you're in. Um for me, mental health is very important in my life. Like growing up, for me, I grew up thinking that mental health wasn't a thing because my parents like don't believe in that. So it's like whenever I would feel sad about something or have extreme anxiety about something, I just thought I was like being like the weird one in the family. I didn't know that having these type of feelings were normal. So growing up and being able to educate myself and my parents, it has helped my mental health like extremely. So I'm able to acknowledge why I feel the way I do and how I can explain it to anybody else who doesn't understand it. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like to piggyback off that, sorry. I feel like growing up in a Hispanic household and like and trying to explore the world of mental health is a struggle because we're taught to just be like, no, if you cry, you're a baby. If you cry, you're weak. If you like emotions aren't a thing. Like you're supposed to just live through life as if everything is happy and rainbows, and you're gonna face hardships. Okay, man up. We fought to get here to this country, so now you have to continue our legacy. Like I feel like
But
it's very tough growing up in that environment.
like if you feel some type of way like for me, main example is depression. I went through a deep depression the past like 6 years, and I would bring it up to my parents, but they would be like, don't start acting crazy because you're not. When I would ask for help, they would be like, you don't need help. Like there's nothing for you to help. You have everything that you can possibly have. So there's no reason for you to be feeling like this. So it's like that kind of like, oh, you shouldn't be feeling this way, obviously brings you into a more like negative state. And I feel like that's super, super, super a big issue in Hispanic households. Because not only did I go through that, but so did my sibling and other friends.
Literally.
Um, I'll say like for me, generally, like the black community goes through the same thing as like Hispanics do, as far as like not acknowledging like mental health. But I would say like my situation was pretty different because my mom works in the medical field, so she sees like mental health people more often. So I don't think she ever was like, oh, if you're depressed or have anxiety and stuff like that's not a real thing. Like she's had those moments herself actually. Like she's blatantly said like and that was very emotional for me. So it's like I wouldn't say like it's like non-existent in my household. I would say I've never felt comfortable bringing it up honestly because I don't know. I don't think I like allowing people to see me vulnerable. And not that because I think it's a weakness. I just don't want people to think like I need attention all the time or like pity or something, if that makes sense. It's like, oh, she's sad, so like we're gonna give her the benefit of the doubt because she's depressed or because she has this going on, etc. And I've never really like wanted to show people that unless I absolutely feel like I can't hold it in anymore and I gotta let it out for some whatever reason. But for the most part, and it's not healthy to do this, obviously, but I just hold it in and like I get over it, which is why I think um for me personally, journaling has helped a lot. I think journaling your emotions is probably one of the most healthiest ways to cope, especially if you don't like to talk to the people about your problems or your struggles. I think journaling, in a sense, has kind of been what's it called, like a escape. Essentially, like I could just write down all my emotions and I'll be okay. But I feel like other than that, it's like I think as young women or like young women of color, it's not really talked about enough. Like mental health and depression and anxiety, it's kind of like brushed off, or it's like it's a phase. Like, oh, you're gonna get over it. Like, like you're not gonna be depressed forever, and it's like that's not healthy because some people end up, over it because it doesn't end for them. So I think it's unhealthy to kind of put that type of mentality into people. And I won't say dramatic, but I don't say I'll never be extreme in saying that I wanted to, but I have like thought about like just not being here, if that makes sense. Like just not being in this space sometimes. But I think just having a good like support system and finding healthy ways to cope with your mental health is probably the best way to go. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
Very nice. So, how, basically going off that, how do you prioritize your mental health now? As you know, especially with being in college and dealing with all the stress from schoolwork, your social life, making like with your family, all that.
I feel like for me, if I am sure that I want to make a whole day like for myself so I can like be sane for once, even if I have like homework, I'll put that aside because that's not what's important like in the moment. I'll put that aside. I'll maybe get some comfort food, watch a comfort show, comfort movie, or I'll go on TikTok because no matter what on TikTok, I don't know why I never get sad videos, so like I'm always laughing on that.
You have a nice algorithm going for you.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm always on TikTok because it always makes me laugh, but I'll do that and not only that, I easily get distracted, so that helps a lot when it comes to that. So I I'll do that.
I like that. I feel like I'm the same. Like I will push everything else aside when I start feeling like really, really anxious about something. Like if I have work, I'm like I can't say what I want to say because it's a bad word. But like I'll use your
Just cut it
imagination.
out.
I honestly say like fuck that. Like right now, I'm what matters because if I do that work, I'm gonna crash out and it's not gonna be good for anybody around me
Mm,
because
mm.
unfortunately I'm a double major. I'm a double major and
Oh, bro.
girl, and
Bro.
I'm working on a minor. I'm working on a minor, so
Oh, I
it
forgot. You have a
so
business minor, right?
and I was
That's
talking to Laura earlier. I'm thinking of minoring in history as well.
Oh,
I'm thinking about double minoring as well. I think I might add
Wait,
marketing on
double
mine.
minor, girl.
I'm
I
gonna
think I
see.
might
Like
add
I'm not
marketing on
committed.
mine. But
Like I
why
feel like
history though? That's very like
I've always loved history. I feel like I don't know.
I did
Actually
too,
am.
and then I stopped.
No, I love history to this day.
I did, and then I stopped.
So and
But
I take a
it's too
history of
much.
architecture class and I love that class. So
So what
mm.
would you do with that though? Like, what would you like?
She could
I feel
Like,
implement
is it just
it into like historical models of like buildings and like bridges and stuff like that.
yeah? Hey,
Slay.
the business I want to
like,
input into the real estate of it all, and then hopefully someday owning my own business, and then the civil engineering and architecture is just because.
you know what I hate though? I feel like I hate that they don't put that on your diploma. Like it's just your major. They don't put your minor. Which I feel like it's so crazy because I spent time on that minor as well. But you
And
know, that's
money,
another conversation.
and
Right.
money,
Clock it. But it's okay. I think it's okay.
guys. I hope to make it to the next episode. That's my goal.
No, actually.
Yo, okay. So we talked about how you um prioritize your mental health. So
Hmm.
going off that, we all have moments of stress, anxiety, sadness. How do you find yourself coping with those? Especially now, I know Liddy's far away from home. I'm looking far away from home. You know, Shayla's going
Home.
through it. Shayla's going through it, bro.
Shayla's home.
Shayla's home, but she's still going through it. So is Laura. I feel like it's normal for people our age, especially with a lot of responsibilities that we have right now. We're still trying to figure out our lives, so that's anxiety enough.
Sorry, because Lana was far away, and then I looked back up, and then she got close to the camera, so that's scary for a second. My bad. Go ahead.
No, but I feel like I cope with things like stress, anxiety, sadness, isolation, the same way I do with um like prioritizing my mental health. Like I
Same.
find I find time for myself at the end of the day. Like I feel like
Mm.
if I like except isolation, obviously, because I don't really ever feel like isolated. Does that make sense? I never have that sense of be like, oh, I feel like lonely.
Like
I don't
sleep.
personally I don't think I've ever felt like that that I can remember. But everything else, like I just always find time for myself and I put myself first because I'm at the end of the day, I'm the only one that's ever gonna be there for me. Truly. I have
Right.
to fight for myself. So that's
Love
me.
it.
If anybody else wants to take this one before I get all stressed, sad.
Mm,
I
Lara,
usually
you wanna go?
I usually do my hair or my nails.
Self
I
care.
disconnect from whatever is like getting me stressed out. And if I don't have like motivation or like inspiration to do my hair or my nails, I just go to sleep.
That's the
Oh,
best way to
sleep,
solve it since
sleep, sleep.
best
I
For
way.
shut
real.
my mind off. I let everything go and I knock out. That's it.
You go ahead, go to sleep. I'll
Mm,
That too.
I'll deal
Yeah.
with it later.
I feel like
I
I
used to
also like
stress eat. Oh, go ahead,
stress
go ahead.
like the cookies earlier.
No, literally, I wasn't even stressed out, but I was like having a sweet tooth. But I used to stress eat like bad. Like I used to like anything I found in the kitchen, like I was just eating it, which is bad. Which is why I try to take my health seriously now. But I think like a lot of it, I sleep it off. And I know it sounds like how you sleep it off, but like generally, like I did, I sleep that shit off. Like I just start off with a new day. Um, or I give myself space to let whatever I'm feeling out. Meaning, like if I have to cry, I'll just cry, just so I can get it out. Um, but like I won't show anybody I'm crying. Like I'll just let it off, and then oh Jada. Um, what else do I do? Music is another thing. That's why I always have my headphones on. That's why I
Got
always
it.
had it on in
That's bar.
school.
Music,
Yeah, music.
100%. It gets me through everything.
Guys,
Like
we just
after every class,
yeah.
pop them shits right back in. Like I really prioritize music. Even in high school, like when I was in the hallways, I always had my headphones in. It didn't matter.
I remember
Cafeteria,
Liddy
headphones
always
in.
walking, be like, Liddy, Liddy, she can't hear you because she had her headphones in.
I can't hear nothing. Like I really take. I think music is probably like one of the best therapies ever. Like it really does take everything away. But other than that, I be chilling, y'all. I be chilling.
Should we create like a coping playlist? Put it in the bio.
Oh,
Yes,
you.
yes, 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 yes.
All right, relax. We'll do it. We'll do it. Liddy, relax. Put the
But the
phone
thing
down.
is, I have so many different genres though.
It's
Like that's the
fine. Mix it
thing.
up.
No.
It's cool.
Okay,
Put it
okay,
on
okay,
there. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I was
okay.
gonna say. I was also gonna add. I think if I'm like feeling like stressed or anxious, I'll call you guys. One of you guys, because you're also what's the word I'm looking for here? Um, I
Are you
don't
gonna
have a nice
cry?
word. No, I don't have a
I was
nice
like, huh?
word. I don't have a nice word to say. I was gonna call y'all dumb. That y'all always make me laugh. So I was like,
To be honest.
I wouldn't have to cut that out. But
Yeah, because
We
You gotta
act
bring it
like
out. You
I was
gotta
gonna
bring
say y'all are just so goofy type shit that you always like. If I'm ever in like a situation where I'm just like not in it, I call you. Like I remember I took my citizenship test and
I know
this
about this.
yeah, I thought I
Damn.
aced that thing. And I did. I
I feel
passed
like
the
an
actual test.
ostrich. I'm so sorry, Rachel. Like I feel like an ostrich right now. Like this is just so much neck room. I don't like this, but continue. Okay.
Yeah, I took my citizenship test and I thought I aced it. And I didn't really I passed the actual test, but because of some rules that, I, something went wrong there, I didn't get it. And I just remember being absolutely like that killed me. Like that
Mm-hmm.
literally to the point that I told my mom I had to be like obviously I had to tell her be like, hey, like I didn't get it. And I was trying not to cry to the point she's like, this hurts you, isn't it? And I'm like, no, no, it's fine. And I ran to my room crying. And she came in my room and she's like, it's okay. Like at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. Like I understand where you're coming from. What we're gonna do, we're gonna keep going and going until you get it because you're gonna get it. And then I believe in you. But then after that, I literally called Laura crying. I bawled my eyes. Yeah, I called Laura crying. I
Yeah.
said, Laura said some dumb shit there. I started giggling a little bit. I mean, it did like it still like it still hurts a little bit, but
Mm.
we pushed through it. It's not the end of the world.
I was gonna ask like when like things get hard or anything, like who's like the person y'all call or something or text or something, you know, if something goes down personally, like who do y'all feel like I need to tell this person right now?
Shelly Ann or
I
Laura.
was just about to say Shelly.
Shelly Ann. Shelly Ann's so like down to earth. She's like she listens to every word you said and then she'll like tell you like what's up.
I was about to say Shelly
And then
last. Yo, I blew up that girl's phone. I felt so bad. And I was going through it, y'all. I was going through it. I was at the bottom of the fucking barrel. Ooh, I was at the bottom of the barrel, okay? Like I was done. Like this school, I was about to burn it my damn self, okay? Because I hated this school so bad. I did.
Oh my God.
I wanted to burn it to the
oh,
ground, okay? Um, yeah, I think it was actually over break too, and that's the crazy thing. Like, it wasn't even at school where I broke down. I did break down at school one time, but after that, I was like, okay. And then I came home for break, and I don't know what came over me. It was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just broke down like bad, like badly, badly. And I was just like, I know Shelly's not up because Shelly be asleep at like 9, 10 o'clock. But I was like, I need to tell Shelly. Like, I need to tell somebody. If it's not Shelly, it's Jada. I think between those two, because me and Jada are very similar in a sense. And out of everybody in the chat, like, um, me and Jada like are more like on the spiritual end, if that makes sense. So it's like if I need that kind of like perspective, I go to Jada, so I can be like, okay, I need to tap back in. But other than that, if I need somebody to make me laugh, unfortunately, it's Shamar,
I was gonna
because I
say
know
so
unfortunately, unfortunately, like if I need somebody to just take my mind off of it, it is Shamar. But yeah, I'd say that.
I feel like I also call Laura because Laura, like we've said this before, she tells you things straight to your face. And
I
sometimes,
know.
like it, even when you're hurting, she'll tell you, but it helps you put things into perspective and you realize, okay, maybe
Hmm.
this isn't this bad. And
Hmm.
she's also just a sweetheart. She has the biggest heart in the world, and I love her
Yeah.
for it. And then Shayla, I call Shayla if I need to laugh.
Yeah, I think Shayla's like the laughable person. Wait, what happened, Shayla? I feel like we were talking, but it didn't go through.
Lying. She does not call me. She
Because you
does.
never answer the phone.
What?
Laura's my
The
witness.
last time you called me was what, October or September?
Because
Boy,
I'm sick and tired of calling you twice and then it just going to fucking voicemail.
you don't call me anymore, so I don't even get to answer.
Okay, we've talked a lot more
Shayla,
recently. So let's not dwell on the past, okay?
Shayla's
Let's not
funny.
dwell on the past. She's fighting for her life, I
Ay,
think.
ay.
Anyway, oh my God, jeez.
Who do you call, Shayla?
Ghostbusters.
Me personally, when I'm overly emotional, I don't call anybody. I don't text
If you like
anybody,
that.
communicate with nobody. I 100% need to be by myself so I can first collect my own thoughts about whatever's like I'm breaking down about, and then I'll say like in the morning or like a day or two
Ay.
once I finally like am able to be calm about the situation, I will either talk with my cousin or Laura, because my cousin, she always makes me laugh, and like she'll give me her 2 cents on whatever it may be, but mostly she'll just make me laugh. And then Laura, she'll be serious in the moment. She'll tell me what she thinks about the situation. She'll tell me what she thinks that what she would do in the situation. She would give me, her little advice. And then she'd like make me feel better, or like we go somewhere, or like, we do something like that. So that's who I
The
talk
beep
to.
beep. Shop in a car.
Me? I'm just like Shayla. I feel like I haven't truly crashed out to none of them. Um, I'll say the ones that have gotten closer to that are Shayla, Rachie, and Jada. Jada, because we go all the way to middle school, so she saw stuff that you guys didn't. Rachie, I don't even know. With Rachie, I got super close to her, and I feel like we understood each other at like a different level than to the rest of the group. Shay Shay, well, Shay Shay is my best friend. So I talk to her everything. Like she literally knows everything. Like everything, everything. It's kind of crazy. But I'm just like her, like I don't like talking about what goes on in my mind because my mind is very complicated and I'm very good at helping other people understand themselves, but I'm not good at understanding myself. And I'm
Bars.
and I'm not good at explaining myself to other people, which I don't have to because ain't nobody gotta understand me, only myself. But when it comes to like a friend group, it's good that other people understands your personality just in case something happens and they know how to like help you through it. But apart from that, I feel like I just when like things get really tough, I distance myself from everybody into I solve everything at my own pace and by myself. That's it.
I see that. I feel like I've seen you go through some shit in the more recent months.
Huh?
I've seen you cry a lot. I've made you cry a lot. In a good way.
Yeah, I would say you made her cry a lot because you make
I've seen Lada cry before
like you make
multiple
her think
times.
about things.
I do. And I don't mean to. I just feel like I tap into that kind of
But I
side.
feel like I have cried about stuff dealing with like us. Like I feel like when it came to Vaichi, I cried a lot with her because she was leaving. Like she wasn't staying in Jersey. So we were going from seeing each other literally every day and her taking me home every day to not seeing each other for months. So it brought back PTSD from about like
I know what you're trying to say. Don't even have to talk about it. It's fine.
from stuff that had happened in the past, and that's why I was so like sentimental at the time.
I was
Wait,
gonna say I make you cry because I tune into your emotions somehow. I somehow play into your emotions. Like when I wrote you what I wrote you on your yearbook, that somehow made you cry. And then I don't know. I feel like there's been other instances. I don't know. And she's also one of the only people that can make me cry as well.
yeah,
I don't think I've
for
ever seen
me,
Shayla cry. Sorry,
I
continue.
don't think I've ever seen Shayla cry either. I'm not gonna
really,
lie. I'm
Haven't?
trying to think about it.
I've seen her cry. I have.
I
I was
don't
about to
think.
say like I am a very emotional person, and a lot of the times I can't hide it, but I always 100% try my best to not show it. Because
Yeah.
one of the things that I absolutely hate is crying in front of people
Hmm.
because it's like it's awkward. Like people are trying to comfort you, but like I don't want to be comforted. I just want to cry. So that's why it's like, I don't like crying in front of people. Don't talk to me. I don't want to be talked to. Because I don't know, like I like crashing out by myself. Like it's just me in my room crashing out, thinking about stuff, and then that's when I'll calm down and be like, "Hey, I need to talk to somebody about this because I can't just keep it to myself." But yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that you wrote me for the
And I was
yearbook,
gonna say that did make you cry. That's what I've
that
seen you
made
cry.
me cry.
That's
That
what
made
I was gonna say.
I don't
because
I
think
I make
anybody
people
made me
cry.
cry except Miss G's.
And
And
Shamar, when
I
Shamar wrote you a
Shamar,
I
you
cry
shit,
cry with
I saw
Shamar.
no, I was about to say I only cried for Shamar because me, Shamar, and Shelly. Well, I knew Shelly before everybody in this group. I met Shelly before I met Shamar, Jada, like everybody, because me and her had the same math class. Shamar, I think, was different because he was like the first male friend that I had that actually lasted for a very long time. Like a lot of my male friends don't last for that long. Like it's just like, okay, cool. And then it was platonic. It wasn't like no baggage or like, oh, we used to mess with each other. It was just like straight platonic. And then like aside from Shamar being a jokester, like I actually do tell Shamar a lot of things that I probably shouldn't, honestly, but I do. I don't know why, but I trust Shamar. Like even though he's a jokester, like if I need him to be serious, he is gonna be serious. For me at least. I don't know about everybody else, but Shamar, like I don't know, that was different. And then Shelly too, because Shelly was the first person that I met, and then I wasn't gonna be with Shelly anymore because Shelly was probably like one of the first people I actually started telling about myself. Like Shelly knows stuff about me that nobody else knows. Like nobody knows.
Same.
And then it's not that like I don't really trust other people, but it's just like I don't know, I just have that relationship with Shelly and then for the most part I keep like Shayla, I keep that stuff to myself because I don't like crying in front of people. Like I don't mind people comforting me, but it's just like after a while it's okay, like get off of me. You know? Like I don't know if that
Exactly.
makes sense,
No, I
but
know
it's just
exactly what
like
I do.
like it's just like okay, like I get it. And I don't mean it in a rude way, but it's just like I don't like being the center of attention like for a long
Yeah,
period of time.
like the point of me crying isn't to get your attention or for you to
Yeah.
me. No, I'm crying because I have to. Like I have
Yeah.
out in the moment.
hmm Like I'm a very emotional person as well, but it's like if I could do everything in my power to keep them tears coming down my face, I will. Like I really will. Like I will literally look up to the ceiling and do everything to make sure that those tears do not come down my face. Sometimes it happens, but yeah, I think when it came to the yearbook, Jamar and Shelly were like the only two people that made me emotional, and then Miss G, because Miss G is also another person that knows a lot of stuff about me that nobody else does, because she's like a second mom to me. So yeah, but it's very few people in my life that make me cry like that. So yeah,
Let's move on. Let's take a look back to last week's episode and
let's get juicy, guys.
talk about relationships and
Like,
people and the impact of relationships. So, how do you think that the women in your life, so your friends, family, etc., mentors, impact your mental health? So I feel like for Lydia, it'd be like a lot like Miss G. I feel like Miss G played a really big part in helping you with your mental health. I don't know if you wanna
hmm
talk about
um, I think if Jada were here, she'd be able to relate. Like, there's like this thing, like in Haitian culture, right? Where it's like, depending on your parent, like you can express certain things to them. So it's like you express certain things, and then other things is like you can be feeling those emotions, but they don't want to hear about it because it's like taboo in a sense. So let's say like this was a long time ago, like a long, long time ago. I'm getting really vulnerable here, so let's just say that.
safe
But
space.
I used to have questions about my sexuality, okay? And I never opened up about that to anybody because it was just like, what's the point? And it was in middle school too. So it's like I'm a young ass kid talking about stuff I like girls. Like, and mind you, there were people in my grade who came out then, but it's just like I always thought that was like they're like 12, but okay. But I never like talked about that. And I remember like recently too, my mom, she was like, if you ever feel like those kind of things, you could talk to me about it. But at the time, I never like thought I could talk to her about it. Now I feel like I could talk to her about those things. But like with Miss G, I feel like because she works with students and so like she goes through those like things and she's had those conversations with people, I can talk to her about those certain things. I never brought that up to her because it never came up in a conversation, but she's always just been like between like a disciplinary and like a friend. I think that's why I've always been able to talk to her because she's like a mom, and so it's like she knows how to like be like on you, like be on your ass and like check you, and then also be like, okay, like do you need this? Like what is it that you need? And so I feel like that's why I've always been able to trust her, and that's always been a person. And then the other women in my life, obviously, you guys and Shelly and Jada. Um, and then my mom, obviously. And then I don't know. I don't really like females, you know? Yeah, yeah, that's
She's
me, guys. I don't really like females like that for real. So it's very, very rare that I'm in like a basically all female friend group. But yeah, yeah. God damn, it's hot in this room. Shit.
Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, to be honest,
God damn. Like, I'm done listening.
be honest, the only mental health type of
Wait.
role in my life is you guys
Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead, Lara.
because my brother has depression. So like my
Mm,
brother has depression, he has anxiety, he has a bunch of stuff to think
mm-hmm,
about. And he made my mom go through a lot because of that.
mm-hmm.
He used it to take advantage of my mom, technically.
Wait, the brother that lives with you currently?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Like he used to make my mom spend money just so he could just so he could be happy because he
Mm-hmm,
was depressed. My mom didn't want him to do nothing to himself. So my after that my mom like she like low-key closed her mentality about mental health. So it's like whether like when I talk to her and when I argue with her, when I have problems with her, it's like my emotions, how I feel and how she makes me feel don't matter at
mm-hmm.
all. So it's like I could tell her I'm like, Mom, I'm sad. Like I'm going through it. I think I need help. She's like, what you want me to do?
It's like that's not a conversation to have with people, which is why a lot of people don't like religion anyways, because people use it as an excuse for a lot of their thinking. And it's just like you shouldn't use that. I think you should be able to try to relate with people and communicate with people so they actually feel like you're a safe place for them, which is why I feel like a lot of parents, like in our generation, I don't know where they became, like they came with that mentality that's like mental health isn't important or like depression is a phase. Like, I don't know if it's from their parents or their culture. I don't know. But I just think that it's important that we kind of just like break that stigma um,
It's
with
really
others.
plain ignorance. Like
Yeah.
it could be religion, culture, whatever it may be. I know that that's rooted in that, which causes the issue.
Mm,
It's like I'm here to break that cycle.
mm,
Once I have my kids, if they're joking or not, I'm gonna be there for them. I'm gonna be like, even if you're joking because you're coping,
mm,
because that's the reason why I joke about it.
mm,
Like, once I have my kids, I am 100% going to break that cycle where it's like, I'm not gonna be ignorant. I'm gonna be on you. Like, if you need help, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna
mm,
for help. Yeah.
mm.
Yeah. It's really just generational trauma and whatever's taught to our parents because I don't know why that's the route that they go for, but it's like, "Oh, you want to do it? You want to keep saying that you're going to do it? Okay, then I'll help you do it. If you
Mm.
really want to keep doing saying it, then okay, do it."
I
So
think it's really weird though.
it
That's
is. It is. And that's why it's such a struggle with mental health when it comes to a lot of Hispanic households because it's like they don't believe in it. They
mm,
don't want to listen to you. They want to be ignorant. They want to pin it on religion, um, which is very unfair because it's like, yeah, I grew up religious, but the way I view it is much different than how my parents view it.
mm,
And it's like you guys taught it to me in a certain way, but I was able to grow up and have my own thoughts about it. So it's like I know where I stand and I'm fine with it.
mm.
And yeah.
Yeah. I think that's really weird. I think there's definitely a difference between religion and relationship. And what I mean by that is like you can follow a religion, but that doesn't necessarily mean that like you're like righteous or like holy or whatever. Like I think that's like a huge misconception. And I would hope like especially like the older generation gets out of that mentality. It's like for me growing up, I think that's why like even though I grew up in a really religious household, I didn't really care for it as a child. And it's like and it's like reversed for me now
Hmm.
because I've decided to take that on myself. And I was like, okay, like it was taught to me this way, but let me see if I can find out for myself. And then
Right.
I ended up having a different perspective and like respect for it because the way that was taught to me was like, you can't do this, and you can't do that, and you can do this, and you can't do that. And it was just like, there was no explanation behind it. As to now, it's like, I'm older and I have a different perspective on it. And it's like, okay, it's not just a bunch of rules and you got to follow it. It's like, there's a reason for this. And at the end of the day, like, we all have the free will to do whatever we want. You know, it's not like a dictatorship, but it's just like, I've found that, like, in my relationship with my spirituality, I find a lot more like peace and just a lot more like, it's just a lot of more just like I'm not stressed out all the time because but I feel like that's to use religion as like, oh, like you shouldn't be depressed or you shouldn't do this, da 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 da. And it's just like I find it so arrogant because depending on whatever religion you are, if it's like Catholic or Christian or anything, it's just like if you want to use that, it's like I'm pretty sure like God created humans and he understands that like we live in a world where emotions usually drive us. Obviously, we shouldn't let our emotions drive our every decision because that can be irrational. But I do think that he understands that we have emotions and we do have real like life, real world problems, and they affect us in like a very heavy way. And I think parents who choose to have children should grow in knowledge about like their child, especially the generation that they're growing in. And I think from a like a Haitian or like a Caribbean perspective, this is the problem that I have a lot. Caribbeans, they teach their children or they raise their children based off the generation they were raised in. So it's like a lot of times they'll tie it back to like, oh, like this is how we did it in Haiti and this is how we did it back in the day. And I'm just like, we are in 2025 and we're in America. And it's like I'm not saying you have to change all your cultural like understandings, but I do think that you need to accommodate to how us American children live. You know what I'm saying? It's like you
It's
can't
different
expect,
circumstances.
yeah, it's different circumstances, grew up with technology. We grew up, with a lot of Americanized culture things. So it's just like you have to find a way to find that balance. Like, yes, discipline and culture and making sure your child is raised within their culture, like their food and their language and, like maybe discipline. But I also think that you need to take into consideration, like, yes, like your child goes to school with kids that they don't even know. And some of these kids aren't raised the same way as everybody else. And these kids end up bullying other kids or they end up threatening them and it makes them want to. And I think parents not taking that seriously is kind of like arrogant and it's very ignorant.
All right. So base like I think we can piggyback. I've said piggyback so many times today. I gotta find a new word, guys. Like someone gives me a new word instead of piggyback. Put it in the comments or something. I don't know. But to go off,
I ain't gonna lie, this whole episode is a mess.
it's fine.
Mm,
That's cool. And also, you're with the most crazy people you ever met in your life.
Sorry, bro. I keep getting interrupted.
All right. Next question. I feel like we can go off of what Lily was talking about last, which I didn't hear much of it, but I'm sure it was important because my mommy called me.
hmm
This is what happens when you don't live at home anymore, guys. Um, what's one thing you wish people understood better about supporting others through like mental health challenges? Any takers? Laura, love it.
Sometimes saying it's gonna be okay doesn't make things better.
Beautiful. Next,
Bars.
that's actually crazy. Yeah.
Bars.
say it louder for the people in the back, man.
Oh,
Shayla.
um, I feel like giving advice all the time isn't what's needed in the moment. I feel like if you're just there to listen, you can nod, you can give facial expressions, but I don't want your advice. Just listen to me. Okay.
hmm
Loud
I
out.
think that's a big one.
That sometimes just sitting down and being quiet with that person is the best treatment.
That's why I call you guys so
Yeah.
often. I like
Like
we'll literally hop on the phone,
And do
we'll
not.
hop, and it's just like cool.
it's the presence. It's like, having that vibe within each other is just comforting having that. So like if you can just listen to me, be like, yes, yeah, okay, period.
When
Give
Shayla's
those
talking to her cats.
yeah, like you don't gotta give me advice. If I want advice, I'll ask for it. But
Hmm.
if I don't, I just want you to listen. And
Bars.
you don't gotta understand it either. You just
That
gotta
is 10-10. Me and this damn angel numbers today, bro.
You're looking for them. That's why.
I'm not.
I was about to say, what does that have to do with anything about?
She's a
That's
liar.
oh my God. You have a dollar? You have a dollar?
Nah.
you liar.
You liar? Bro, y'all know what I'm talking about. Ah!
No, I don't.
Anyway, I feel like this ties up. We know it's like we're also March is also the month of is Women's History Month, and I feel like this is also one of the most overlooked months, like when it comes to things like that. Like, and I feel like we should pay more attention to it and like be more vocal about this month. I don't know, guys, but anyway, my next question is, how can we support each other in a world that expects women to be quote unquote perfect?
Well, first of all, there's not such a thing as being perfect.
Right. I think
Like that tea.
if you follow that societal norm anyways, then there's a problem with you, low key. Like, there's like this saying with like black women, it's like, oh, black women always have to be strong. I don't have to do shit. Like, I don't have to do anything. Like, if I
Take it
don't
one day at a
feel
time.
strong, I'm not gonna put on the front. Like, I will put on the front, but only because for me, not for you. You know, like it's not because oh, I need people to see me as like a strong black woman. Like, no, like I don't really care for those titles or those labels or like the culture. Like I think it's kind of stupid. And I feel bad for women who do follow that societal norm, but it's also like get a grip. You know, it's just like society's not doing anything good for you. Like it's just creating a bunch of unrealistic expectations, and you feel the need to follow them. You know, like I don't feel the need to follow them at all. So, you know,
Yeah, I
support
was
each
gonna.
other. I love each other. That's it.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say like we low key still live in a world. Well, not low key. There are like some people who believe that women have to do everything when it comes like in a household. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's more for like
Mm-hmm.
Hispanic and like Caribbean
Mm-hmm.
people. Like, and that's like, oh yeah, no, like that's quote unquote being perfect or like a perfect woman does cooks, she does laundry, she has kids, takes care of the kids, does all the
Mm-hmm.
errands, and the man is just supposed to come home, sit on the couch, and have everything served to him.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that's sad as hell. That's not even sad. That's like it enrages me because what the hell do you mean? We've literally women have been fighting for what since the 1920s,
Mm-hmm.
and this is still the society we live
In
in.
America.
I
What?
think.
In America.
In America. Well, not
I
even in
think.
America, it's in the back in the like the homelands too. It's even worse in the homelands.
I
I know
think.
people have been saying
Um.
like us as women, we've been fighting for
Oh,
anything
you're right.
as
Yeah, you're
long
right.
as we've existed. So it's like, damn,
I
give me
think
a break.
it's. I don't know. I think with situations like that, I feel like. Um. And this is why, excluding ours, obviously, I don't like relationship podcasts because they put a lot of these stupid like ideologies in people's heads where it's like, oh, like I'm not going 50-50 with my man, or if my man don't make this much, I don't want him, or if my girl don't do this, da 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 da. And I'm just like, do what works for you. You know, like be in a relationship with somebody that actually loves you and cares for you and provides for you. I think with that whole um women have to do all the cooking and cleaning. I think there's a difference between being submissive and being like
Like wanting
you're
to.
gonna do this because that's your role. And obviously, I do think that women and men have a role. Like we do, what's the word? Feed off of each other essentially. But I do think there's a respectful way to do it because men need women and women need men. I think, and I think there's a respectful way to do it. I think if I'm in a relationship with a man, you're not gonna come home and not do anything. You know, like I get it, you work, but it's like for me, one, I'm working too. I can't do the whole house wife thing. I can't stay at home. That's just not my thing. But I do think that if I'm in a relationship with a man, I need help as well. You know, like I don't think it's just like a you're gonna cook, you're gonna clean, you're gonna do the clothes, you're gonna do this, and that, and I'm gonna pay the bills. Like just like as parents, like it's important. Like you want your parent to be emotionally available for you and be like mentally available for you, and you want them to check in on you and be that supportive partner, like parent for you. You need that in a partner as well. You need a supportive partner. You need somebody who's emotionally available and who's gonna check up on you. And I think that whole like societal like rule that like oh women have to do this and then men all have to do this, and it's just like it's really weird. I think just do what works for your relationship, and if you see your partner struggling, like just help them up because that's your job. Like you're supposed to lift them up and you're supposed to care for them and stuff. But I don't have a problem with cooking and cleaning, but as long as you're doing your job as a man, you know what I'm saying? Like don't expect me to cook you a Thanksgiving dinner. You don't do shit around the house. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't
Like
your mama.
it's huh?
I ain't your mama, bro. I'm not your
No, for
mother.
real. Like
You're a
like
slave.
I
You're a
don't.
maid.
I the type of okay. I think the way that I am, I think like my love language is gift giving or like acts of service. So like I don't mind doing those things, but it's like if I'm gonna do that, you need to make me feel like protected and secure. Like, does that make sense? Like you need to show me like okay, like you deserve this in the first place. Because if you don't deserve that, you're not gonna get like all of me. That's what I think.
Yo, Cynthia should have won that Oscar. Fuck that hoe.
Oh, over Zoe Saldana or Saldana or whatever.
Yeah.
I
Fuck
think
that.
it's so weird how the Oscars or like all these award shows, they'll give awards to people at the wrong time in their career. Like she shouldn't have won that at that point in time. Like she should have been had that award a long time ago.
Oh
And
God,
then
that's
this
for
year
Avatar.
was Wicked's year. Like you guys had Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo opening up that show and they didn't leave with one Oscar.
Girl, that's how you know they're not gonna win. Because usually when it's a pattern in the
Come
Oscars.
on.
When someone performs at the Oscars, like the Grammys, well, not the Grammys, because a lot of people won this year. But in the Oscars, if you perform at the Oscars, you're not gonna win.
Like, that's so stupid to me. I really do think I don't want to say she didn't deserve it because Zoe Saldana is a great actress, but I don't think she should have won it at that point in her career.
Not
She
for
should have
this
won that a
movie.
long
Not for
time
this
ago.
movie.
At the
That's what I'm
worst
saying. Like
time ever.
at the worst
Look,
time. Who watched that? That's another. This is why I don't like Oscars. They. No, I'm not saying these movies or these shows don't deserve it, but I'm just saying like I've
No,
never heard of
that movie that
half
she
of these
did not deserve
projects.
any Oscars.
Oh, you watched it?
I didn't, but I've seen clips. It's butt.
you know what's really good though? Honora.
Like
Honora was really
the
good.
singing,
Honora
What?
deserved to win. Honora.
I don't know
Honora
what that
deserved
the
to
is.
win.
what? The
Honora.
what?
I don't know what that
Oh,
Honora.
I
is.
want to.
It's
I don't know what
good.
that
I
is.
love it.
I'm happy. I'm happy she got her Oscar, but like, what is it called?
It was at the
Emilia.
wrong time.
Boy, the singing in that movie compared to Wicked, you gotta be out of your mind
That's
to
what I'm saying.
Oscar
If
and
if it was
not.
Ariana or Cynthia, I would have been completely fine. And then I love Doja Cat, but I don't know what she was singing on that stage. She sounded a hot goddamn mess. She sounded a hot goddamn mess, and I don't care. She sounded a mess, and I think it should have just been Ray.
Woman.
Like
Give me
Lisa and
your
Doja Cat
woman.
didn't need to do nothing. It should have just been Ray.
I love how
Um,
our topic changed. So if you came to find
As someone told me lately, everyone is a
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
What?
see what I did there?
Me pausa, resume la puta. You know what you sound like? You sound like the weatherman on Roblox.
We should end up with this question.
Huh?
Considering it's room. Excuse me. I agree.
Not just like him. He my
You
favorite.
mean you mean the newsman?
Yeah.
What did I
You
say?
should put weatherman.
Oh, same thing.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Considering, like I mentioned before, it's also Women's History Month, apart from being National Mental Health. I don't know what it's called. Put the name up here. Um, how do you think we can break the stigma surrounding mental health within the female community?
I think if we stop judging each other and
Women
if
are
we
very
like
judgmental.
listening to each other
Like that too.
and if we start not trying to take everything from each other and be supportive of each other
Oh,
Men included.
and not talk crap, because I don't want to say the bad word, crap, about each other, our mental health will be much better. No more
yes,
fighting
yes,
over
yes,
men
yes.
against
And
We
men.
as
also, if we
women,
stop caring,
we as
True.
women
caring,
need
Just
to
don't
be
give a fuck what
united.
people gotta say about you.
stop caring, like
Worry about your
you
money. Get
pushing.
your money up, not your funny
Okay.
up. I
What
feel
is
like
she sending, bro?
Laura said it all. I feel like we as women need to be very, very united. We need to stick together because unfortunately we are a minority. We
We
are a
need to
minority.
fighting over bum ass men that do not care about either of you guys.
Give me it.
Please
Um,
talk that tea. Milk that
um,
cow that clocks that tea.
Talk that tea.
Because
Insert
I
cow
not
here.
milk the cow.
have seen women get pregnant by bum ass men that are not even like willing to
Yes, yes,
they don't even want
yes.
to
Say
a serious relationship with you.
Clock it.
clock
Minus
it.
marriage, minus like commitment. No. Why are you getting pregnant by a motherfucker that doesn't even care about you?
With all them tattoos on his face, letting that man impregnate you. That ugly man. That's not even a man. That's an it. Like I like to say continuously, that is an it. That is a cockroach. That is a bug. That is
Go
a
watch the
part of
prologue.
Bug's Life cast. Okay, he's a part of the Bug's Life cast. That is what he is. That ugly, ugly, ugly. Ooh, continue. But she's such a pretty girl. She got pregnant by that little piece of whatever he is. I don't even know what he is. He's so ugly. I'm so
Bro,
happy she touched on that. I really am
no fight
because
over bum ass men because we're better than that.
like they're so annoying. Like you just getting pregnant by anybody and
Okay,
everybody,
let
and
me let
not
him
even married, not even married. Like that's so ugly to me. It's so childish. Plopping babies into this world, overpopulating
They
us. We don't even have that much space for all y'all babies to be coming up in this
where
world,
did
and
the therapist
y'all
go?
just keep popping them out every single day. Like we don't have any space for y'all. You know that's a really global issue, overpopulation, because all these babies is coming all over the place. Like, get married first and then have a baby. All this extra shit. Like, damn.
How is that going to change the
Coming out with.
overpopulation issue?
How about we just stop having babies? How about that? Let's just stop having babies. That's the problem. That's really
my
the problem. We
problem
got no
is
more space. Okay?
my
Look at this
problem
economy. We got
is
no.
how does this
Mhm.
relate to mental health?
I don't know.
It's affecting my mental health. Seeing all these women just pop out babies, and soon I won't have a space to buy a house because they just popping these little fuck shits in all these different spaces. I don't got time for it. Okay, please. What the hell you got all these kids for? You don't need all that. I don't even like kids that much. Why
They're
would I
making
want
a
that
football
many
team.
kids in my house?
Liddy is part of the fuck them kids committee.
Fuck them kids. Fuck kids.
If you're
We don't
part of
even
the Fuck
give.
Them Kids committee, click the link in the bio.
Yes,
Subscribe.
yes.
Subscribe.
I'm so tired of them little ass
Oh my
shits. Like
God.
we
I
don't
was
even need
literally,
it.
I think we end this with one last statement, which is get your money up, not your funny up.
Shut up, bro.
Show
Go to
money.
sleep.
Bro, we limit. Have you seen the economy? Do you want to pay $20 for 12
Hey,
eggs? Right up. So get your money up. Get your money up. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and with that, I think we're done. I think we said all we need to say. Talk the shit we need to talk about. No sense of Shayla's cat. So we're doing great so far, I
I
think.
would say H
Um,
no too.
I think, yeah. With that being said, we hope you guys enjoyed. Um, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends, family, your enemy. I don't really care. Share it, send it, do whatever you want. We will have more videos up every Friday around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna stay consistent. I'm not making any promises, but we're gonna stay consistent. We have a few more videos coming this season. About 6 more, maybe. This season one's gonna have about 8 episodes, so stay tuned for those. Those are gonna be real interesting, real fun. Anyway, see, that's a great way to end off the podcast today, especially on such a very serious topic of mental health. Um, Speaking of mental health, make sure to go check up on your loved ones because
You
you know,
never know what somebody may be going through, so it's always nice to check up on your loved ones, you
especially
know?
the women in your life. Go tell
Yeah.
the women in your life you love them, especially your mother, your grandmother, your auntie, your uncle, not
A
your
hug
uncle,
and a kiss
not your,
will be
a hug
nice.
indeed, indeed, or
On the
send them
cheek.
some money, or send me some money. That'd be nice.
Send me a couple hugs. You know,
Maybe
I
a
am a
band, maybe
child.
two. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're feeling generous, maybe a milli. That'd be nice.
Maybe. No, I don't know. I don't want to talk
Cash
to
App,
you.
Cash App link in bio, guys. Anybody else have anything else to add?
Uh,
The
follow us
socials. The
on our
socials.
socials at Hypothetically Unhinged on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and you Gucci girl.
We're on YouTube. We're
Watch
on
us. We're
YouTube. Okay.
on that. Please watch us, like,
Comment. More
comment.
subscribe.
So we can get monetized and make money on, so we can drop out of college and
Drop
be financially stable for the rest of our lives. Thank you
Because
guys.
apparently I'm
we
financially
really
unstable.
appreciate we really appreciate comments, to know your thoughts on the topic we talk about. So it'll be nice. And yeah.
I think by the way, you're probably wondering where the hell is Jada? I have the same question every day. Um, we don't know. I'm kidding. Jada is not going to be with us for this episode. But she will be back next week first. She's off doing some very, very good things in the world, and we love
Yeah,
her.
Memphis, y'all.
Cheers
She
for
wants to
her.
Glorilla for us. So yeah.
Glorilla is
She will be here
okay.
soon, and she will be our comedic relief as always.
Yeah. Next week's episode, we don't know what it is yet. Stay tuned though. It's gonna be a fun one, hopefully. Yeah. And then with that being said, what do we say?
Bye,
Bye bye,
bestie.
bestie. See you soon.